All right, I'm going to go ahead and call the meeting to order as I'm just kind of looking. Everybody is here in off-top here by phone. There's only a couple that I can see that haven't joined us yet, and they may join us yet. So I will call the meeting to order. It's 5:31. We'll do the Pledge of Allegiance as we did last time, except this time we've decided we're going to ask everybody if they would mute and say the pledge within your own location, and I will lead it. I'll be the only voice, and hopefully it sounds okay. So if we want to stand to do the pledge, we're looking at the flag in Ulysses' office. So Ulysses is there. So, because last time we had everybody talking at a different rate. So I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, Ulysses, has the agenda been posted?
Yes, it has, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, great. Nadia, will you call the roll, please?
Yes, Commissioners Adams,
Present.
Breslin, present, Budillo,
I was present.
Budillo. Yes, please unmute yourself. Burke,
Yeah, please unmute during the roll call, please unmute yourself so that you can respond. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, Commissioner Burke,
Present.
Clarkson,
Here.
Corcoran,
Here.
Dada,
Here.
Feldman,
Here.
Freemuth,
Yeah.
Hedrick,
Here.
Hearn,
Here.
Hughes,
Here.
Jones,
Here.
Martin,
Here.
Philbrook. Here. Pye,
Here.
Reeson,
Here.
Schmitz,
Here.
and Swearup.
Here.
Thank you.
Okay, so Guillermo, actually we have, I think, 100% attendance tonight. Very good. You've had a chance to review the agenda. Are there any additions or deletions or modifications? And if not, would somebody move adoption of the agenda?
So moved.
Ken Hedrick? Okay, who seconds? Rolf? Okay, great. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
I abstain.
Okay, abstention. Okay, Peter abstains. Any other abstentions or people who weren't there at the last meeting? Okay, very good. Public comments. Nadia, do we have any public comments?
No, we do not, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, we move next to the item is the approval of the minutes. This is for the Airport Commission meeting of January the 20th. You've all had a chance to review the minutes. Are there any emendations to the minutes?
Move to adopt.
Okay, Rolf moves to adopt. Ken Hedrick seconds. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of approving the minutes of the January 20th, say aye.
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 Opposed?
Abstain.
Abstention? Peter abstains. Very good. Okay, we move now to the chairman's report. I'd like to welcome again, although they were sworn in at our last meeting, our two new commissioners, Jill Philbrook from Cathedral City and Gabriel Martin representing the city of Coachella. I've also wanted to congratulate Bill Reeson. His term was extended by the Palm Springs City Council for another 6 months through June 31st of 2021. And Bill, as we know, represents Rancho Mirage. So that's great. We'll ask David in his presentation about the status of the marketing RFP. We have two representatives from the Airport Commission on that RFP group. That would be Patricia Breslin and Todd Burke. So those are the two representatives to that RFP process.
Chairman,
Yes.
hate to bother you. I know you acknowledge a couple of the commissioners, but aren't we going to acknowledge Peter Fremuth also?
Peter's just is continuing on the commission until which time the county supervisors decide to make a reappointment or make an appointment to it. So yeah, he just is continuing on as an airport commissioner.
Welcome back.
So moving forward, we'll do the introductions and presentations. I turn to Ulysses for that, and I will go on mute.
Okay, thank you. We're going to ask Daniel to give an update presentation on the marketing effort. Daniel?
Yes. Okay, let me get, hold on, share real quick. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Because everybody see it and hear me, I hope. Okay, so good evening, everybody. I'm going to give you a quick update. We're going to start with an air service update. Air Canada has canceled all remaining Vancouver and Toronto flights for the season, so we don't plan to see them again until this fall. Alaska Airlines has, since the change since our last meeting, decided to delay San Jose until September 2021. Again, all this is due to the impacts of COVID, so it's no shock to anyone. Reno was temporarily operated for a couple of months and went on temporary suspension, and the return date is still to be determined at this time. Most likely looking at probably next season for us, we'll see Reno come back. Alaska's also reduced Portland to 1 daily, normally 2, and they're taking Seattle service to 6 daily versus their original plan 7, April, May, and into the summer. Boutique has decided to suspend operations as of February 8th. They cited lack of demand due to COVID. They were running LAX and Phoenix, if you recall, but we also have 2 other carriers on each route. We have Delta United still both running daily flight each to LAX, and we have American and Southwest running daily flights to Phoenix. We have not lost service to any destinations, just unfortunately lost one of our carriers. Some good news for Delta is they are extending their Seattle service into the summer. They're going to do once daily, so that'll make up for the once daily reduction on Alaska Airlines. Previously, they would seasonally suspend that route in April. Frontier is continuing to run it 2 times per week through the month of February. Normally, they'd be doing 4 times per week. They are currently scheduled to restart that in March as of today. We'll see how that changes. Hopefully demand continues to pick up and they can go ahead and run that schedule. JetBlue still has Fort Lauderdale in the schedule right now, but it's only in April and for 4 total flights. I don't expect that to actually end up launching, but hopefully we'll be able to see them give that a try next season when things are normal. Sun Country, they have extended their 4 weekly service through the end of March. Typically they'll be running 7 times per week. But right now it's 4 a week. They've reduced because of the reduced demand. Then April, they're going to bump that up to 5 times per week. At least that's what's in schedule as of today. Again, a lot of this keeps changing by the day, if not the week. It's kind of hard to keep up with. WestJet, so they have dropped Edmonton from the schedule for this season. They operated Vancouver November through early January, currently suspended, and they have further delayed it until April. They previously were going to return it in March, but that's been pushed to April as of now. Calgary is moving to Friday only service in March, so once a week, but currently scheduled in April for 2 to 3 times daily. And Winnipeg is not in the schedule for 2021. Southwest, no changes to Denver and Oakland. Phoenix returns to 3 daily on March 7th. Our last meeting, Rolf asked about the load factors on Southwest and how Southwest was happy with their flights. We had a phone call with them the week following our last commission meeting. They're definitely pleased with the Oakland and Denver service. Phoenix, they said, could use some help. Scott White, the CVB, was on the call. They are going to do some advertisements in the central and eastern parts of the country to help drive some traffic on Southwest, hopefully connecting over Phoenix to come here. Southwest is also going to look at their schedulings and optimize their schedules to make sure they have good connectivity through Phoenix to help bolster the Phoenix route. Not any danger of losing it, but they just said if we had to pick a route to help, that would be it. Here's just a chart. You guys have seen this a couple times from me on the available seats. Again, I remind you, these schedules are changing basically every week. They're very abnormal due to COVID. Typically an airline puts out a schedule for 6 months and they tweak it very little, maybe by 10 to 20, 30 minutes, and that's about it. So right now, February, we were down negative 3.4% on domestic seats, down 21% on total seats. The total available seats includes international service. Air Canada, of course, not operating right now, and WestJet has cut back quite a bit. March is down 5.9% to domestic and down 19.8% total. April is extremely high right now, 187% increase in domestic, 196% increase in total traffic, including international. But I want to remind everybody, April 2020 was the worst month of the pandemic. WestJet, for instance, didn't fly at all in April 2020 to Palm Springs, and they're currently scheduled for, I think, 48 flights in April of this year. Many other airlines operated minimum flights in April. So, when you don't really have much activity, you can add a handful of flights and really boost that percentage. So don't get too overly excited on that increase for April, but I can definitely say it looks like we're gonna have a much better April 2021 than we did April 2020, thankfully. So now back onto the advertising campaign that we've got going, an update on this one. So our Google and the search engine marketing is up and running. Report from JNS in January had over 15,000 impressions just in the month of January. We are geo-targeting the Palm Springs designated market area. So basically Coachella Valley and the high desert. We're also targeting all of Riverside County and San Bernardino counties. On the right is an example of one of the ads that we have going on the search engine marketing. It's also the most seen ad that we have going, but multiple ones going as well as digital banners in Google and search. This one is kind of what I see on the back, what JNS sees. I just wanted to show you this. So I took a snapshot of our Google Analytics on our website at about 9:30 this morning. There were 6 people on it at the time. I'm not super excited. I'm not so excited about 6 people. It's not a whole lot. But what I want to show you is that we can see, if you can see my cursor, where people are, not just in the US, but in the world, who are on our website. And we have people from all over the world that do visit the Palm Springs Airport website. And what I like most here in the bottom left, you can see the top keywords. These are what we have in our Google and our search engine marketing. So people, if they're in any one of the 3 geo-targeted areas and searching flights to New York, for instance, on this one, if they're doing flights to and they put in a city that Palm Springs has service to, it's feeding them an ad to show, hey, you can fly that nonstop from Palm Springs, so searching it. So the reason I want to show you this is that people searched on Google, they hit the keywords we had in there, and for instance, this one came to New York. And the 2 people that were on this one, they're in Southern California, and what I got excited about, and probably nerding out on this a bit, was that they were in Murrieta and Lake Elsner on the other side of the mountains from us. So that area, those folks in that area could easily travel to Ontario or Orange County, and also Palm Springs. And so Orange County or Ontario doesn't have any nonstop service to New York this season. Orange County does, but theirs is to Newark. Ours, of course, is to JFK. What I like those is people who typically probably only would consider Ontario or Orange County, not only saw our ad, but they clicked through and they went to our website, to our airlines and destinations page to look at the service we do have. And so we're helping, to convince people in that area where they have multiple airports of choice to maybe now start considering us Palm Springs as being one of their choices when they need to fly, not just Ontario, Orange County, or even LAX. And so again, not a high number of people on it, but I just went to look at it this morning. I was pulling some data and I kind of nerded out on that a bit and wanted to show you that the efforts that we are doing in the areas where we're targeting, they're starting to get some results. Some of our social media advertising we have going right now. Again, with the campaign, I said this many times, is a lot of it is just about creating awareness. We're educating the community on wanting to fly local and what Palm Springs has to offer, what airlines and nonstop routes, and also helping them become, I like to call it, ambassadors of PSP. On this ad here in the middle that I'm circling, you can see on the picture of the Bono concourse. That's one of the ads we have going to get new likes and followers. Currently, that's one we're running for Facebook. And from our last commission meeting till this one, our Facebook likes are up over 109%. We're up over 3,000 people liking and following us down on Facebook, which is great. Instagram and Twitter are both up only 5%. We aren't currently running ads on those for additional followers, but we do have ads for Instagram to increase our Instagram audience starting on Friday. Importance of doing that again is once we build, the more people that like and follow us on social media, then I can go make a typical organic post and we'll get a lot more out of it. And those are free to do versus right now, everything we're going to put information out there, we're having to pay to do that to really get a lot of eyeballs on it. Something else like on the right, this is another post we have for just liking and following the airport, a picture of the terminal and the mountains behind us. What I circled though is here's a lady that talked about she didn't even realize that we had an airport. And again, that kind of goes back to just creating awareness and educating the community and helping people become ambassadors and just saying, hey, yes, we do have an airport. Maybe before she thought she had to fly into Ontario, now she realizes she can fly into Palm Springs. And so we're getting a lot of activity, comments like that on many of the posts we're making. And so I'm loving seeing this and just realize that people, they're learning about what we have. So here's what some other advertising we have going, and these aren't just straight ads. These are what we call boosted posts. So boosted posts, it's more authentic. So boosted posts, it is like if I were to make a post on our airport web on a page and just post it like you would in your personal Facebook, they're essentially the same thing. So they come across to people as more authentic. They have higher engagement rates. You end up getting more website visits through those, and you have a better overall reach. So as is compared to an ad, which was the previous page, ads are more precise targeting, where I can say, I'm going to search for females age 25 to 35 who love turtles or something like that, and really kind of zone in and get really targeted certain markets with ads. Ads also have more creative control because you're building those kind of you would like, say, a billboard or a television commercial. And you can also schedule those, turn them on and off as we need. A boosted post, once you post it, it stays on your page. You can stop the boost, which is putting in front of more people, but to take it down, you actually have to delete it from your page. A little bit difference there. Something else I put on here. So one here in the middle, this was a boosted post we did for Southwest Airlines about their service to Denver, Oakland, and Phoenix. We have some pictures in there, a lot of pictures of the destination, showing people things they can go do. You see here, the top one is just people reach and engagements. That's how we got just the organic ones. We just posted it, and that's just people checking it, liking it, sharing with their friends, etc. And then we started boosting it to get some more bang for a buck. So you put it on there in a post, you may be lucky if you get a couple of hours out of it, maybe an hour or maybe a day or two, and then it kind of falls by the wayside. People stop seeing it because of the algorithms. You can boost it, start putting it back in front of their eyes, and start getting the information out there, getting the, hey, Southwest is at Palm Springs, here's where they fly, etc. And so we've got a boost going for it, and right now we've reached over 6,000 people and getting more engagements, and that's going to run for about 12 more days. The top right is a similar boosted ad we're doing for Allegiant for the service to Eugene and Boise. Some of the comments, which I love, again, is, people are seeing this, and Ursula here made a comment asking if we had flights to Chicago. This is an ad for Allegiant. They don't fly to Chicago from here, but they're seeing Palm Springs, say, hey, they're getting more service. What else does Palm Springs have? And they're engaging with us. So I was able to talk with her and tell her, yeah, we have American United. They both fly nonstop to Chicago from Palm Springs. And something else, Leslie, here at the bottom, saw the ad, and she tagged her friend Christine, saying, hey, this may be a good option for you to come to California. And that kind of falls back. Both of these I love is because it goes back to just educating the community, creating awareness of what we have, and then taking the other community and making them ambassadors for the Palm Springs Airport. So, Leslie tagged her friend and said, hey, I guess she assumes that, I guess she lives in Eugene or Boise, one of the two. Said, hey, you can fly down and visit me now. And they had some conversations going. So, Leslie's being an ambassador for our service at this airport and may not even totally realize it. I mean, a lot of us probably do that every day on social media and don't really think about it. But again, I just want to share this with you guys. It's showing a lot of the great interactions we're getting with our users and followers on all of our efforts. Also, so all the digital's going, the search is going, the digital banners are up, all the social media. And so I want to show an example here on the website traffic. As our website traffic, and I did the time period November 17th to December 16th. We relaunched the campaign officially, started with digital and slowly rolled in the digital banners and social media, etc., starting on December 22nd. So the time period, we had 16,000 website visits in that first time period. And now in January, this to February 16th, we have everything rolling digitally. Our website traffic has increased by nearly 44%. The number one visited page on our website is a flight status. No shocker there. That's basically the number one visited page on any airport website. But our number two is our airlines and destinations. So again, we're getting information out there about people saying, hey, all the 11 airlines we have flying, the 25 plus routes they have going, when they're operating, etc. People are taking in the information. They're clicking through on our ads and they're taking it in and learning about us, which is great. Some other social media ads we have going. This is one. This is an advertisement we have going, talking about the destinations, nonstop destinations, the number of new routes, and 12 airlines. This is an old one. We had it revised to 11 airlines when Boutique decided to drop. And there's an animated route map that goes with this. I couldn't get the ad to play, so I did plug the route map into right here, and it will play it for you. So there's also some background music that goes along with it. There's no voiceovers or anything, just a little jingle that goes with it. But that plays over here in this space on the left, and just shows people where we fly. And it differentiates between the year-round service, what's currently operating, also what's seasonal and not operating at the time. And also we end everything with the when you're ready to fly, fly local, fly Palm Springs. We're doing more of a soft sell because not everybody's ready to travel right now due to safety concerns and and quarantine things and other things. So we're just doing more of a soft sell, really keeping everything more just informational, because there are people flying, and if the ones who are flying and searching, we want them to make sure that Palm Springs is a choice for them. Billboards, those are going up on February 22nd. We're actually gonna be able to run those for 20 weeks. Originally, we're gonna run those for 8 weeks, just in February and March, but we are gonna do digital ads, digital billboards instead of static ones, so they're cheaper, so we can actually extend that time and get 20 weeks out of them instead of just 2 months out of 8 weeks. They don't have the course of production cost or labor cost of putting them up. We're gonna do 5 billboards, 1 in Palm Springs, 2 in Cathedral City, and 2 in Rancho Mirage. We're gonna rotate airline-specific ads throughout the whole 20-week period, and then the entire 20-week period will contain Palm Springs Airport-specific ads that will be constant. Here are 2 examples of the digital billboards going up. These again are just informational, kind of a soft sell, saying, you know, when ready to fly, fly local, fly Palm Springs, just creating some of that top of mind awareness so people thinking about to fly, hey, I'm gonna check Palm Springs. Some other ones, we have another one's more informational, you know, has the route map on it, 27 destinations, including 7 new routes. And the bottom one is the very first airline specific ad we're gonna roll out, which is Southwest, being at PSP with Denver, Oakland, and Phoenix. I have a strategy meeting with JNS early next week. We're gonna talk more about how we do the billboards and how we will rotate the airline ads and which ones we're gonna advertise and when, et cetera, starting next week. We're gonna we're gonna take the airline specific ones to each individual airline individually and then rotate those through. Other informational, we got the TV ads. Those start on February 8th. Those are on Spectrum and on OTT, which OTT is over the top if you're not familiar with it. So you'd like a Roku device on your home when you're watching, or you like watch Sling TV, which is the online cable. Those are where those ads are being placed on that. And Spectrum, their ads on things like, I think we have Bravo, ESPN, several different channels that kind of rotate through on local Spectrum ones. Radio started on February 8th as well. We're on 106.5 KGay, Mix 100.5 KPSI, 94.3 K News, and we have additional ones we're taking advantage of. The large video walls and the baggage claim. We have animated route map that's going on those. That's going to kind of match what I showed you a little bit ago for the social media ad. That's going to go through and it lists, that one will include all the airline logos. And we're also looking at doing an email blast with the Desert Sun. Here's an example of one of the radio ads I'll play for you real quick. This is one I'm playing on KGay.
Are you planning to fly soon? With 11 airlines, more than 25 nonstop routes across the United States and Canada, and new year-round service on Southwest Airlines, flying from Palm Springs has never been easier. Visit PalmSpringsAirport.com to check out our nonstop destinations and start your next trip at Palm Springs International Airport. That's PalmSpringsAirport.com. When you're ready to fly, fly local. Fly Palm Springs.
So that's just an example of one of the radio ads. The ads that are playing on the other stations are similar as well. They're not identical, but they basically contain the same similar messaging. And let's see. And then, so that's what I have with the advertising section. And then as far as the RFP update, it was issued and put on the street on February 3rd. Proposals are due back to city procurement by March 3rd. And I'm excited to say we have a lot of interested firms. Last time I went and counted, which was this morning, there were 15 registered vendors on it. I don't know if they'll all end up giving us a proposal, but I think we're gonna have a lot from which to choose. So I'm definitely excited to see what they come up with. And that's all I've got. Does anybody have any questions or comments for me? Let me stop sharing somehow.
That was a terrific report, Daniel. You really hit the ground running. I have to say what you've done in such a short period of time to help market the airport has been absolutely incredible, which is why I think we were all excited to have somebody in that position. And I think you're really proving the point, and we're going to benefit from your expertise there. Any questions for Daniel and his report?
Yes, I have one. Can you make this report part of the minutes for the meeting?
Yeah, I believe we can. Yeah, I think last commission, I think we sent a PDF of it, correct? And I'm happy to do that again too.
Yeah, I was going to be. Yeah.
Oh, was that?
Yeah, would you send a PDF again to all of the commissioners? That would be great.
Of course, yes.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Daniel? Okay, well, I think we've got a good marketing program and plan moving forward. Just a really expanded significantly beyond what we had last year. Our next item on the agenda is the city manager report. David, are you still with us? David, ready? Yep.
Certainly, yes, I'm here, Mr. Chairman. Nothing formal to mention other than I would just note that with regard to the painted benches and trash cans in front of the airport. So there, as you know, Mr. Chairman, there was a group that we approved that looked pretty good, but for reasons that aren't quite clear to me, there's a couple outliers there that weren't approved.
Right.
So we're going to have those moved. They don't sort of fit in. So we'll go ahead and have those moved to a different location off the airport.
Great. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Anything
real
else,
quick.
David?
Oh, sorry. Okay.
I'm sorry, Gerald?
Just real quick, we also will need 4 of them in the for the design in the front by the fountain going to the main terminal. So I don't know if that's something you want to consider. Patrick Calarico would have more information on that.
That has to do with the sustainability garden there between the fountain, David, and the airport.
I'm sorry. Yeah, and Gerald, just to clarify, so this is the sustainability was going to do the garden where the fountain was, the conversion?
They would like to inquire about painting for the benches and utilizing them into the new design.
Okay. Using that design or those benches up there?
Using 4 benches that possibly could be painted by artists as well.
Oh, understood. Okay, got it.
Yeah, that would be congruent with the sustainability garden in some way.
Sure.
I think that's
Okay.
what he was talking about.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Did you want to do a quick update about the like Main Street when the new city manager, the full-time comes in?
Oh,
David?
Mr. Chairman? Are you talking to me, sir?
Yes, I was going to say an update on the city manager position.
Sure.
I know.
The new city manager that council appointed, Justin Clifton, who is currently the city manager in Sedona, he actually begins, his first day here is April the 5th. So I will be interim city manager until then. He was here this weekend, met with several council members, department heads, and I think the transition will go well. And we're here to give him all the free advice he wants, but I'm sure he'll be able to hit the ground running and figure it out pretty quickly.
Oh, that's terrific. Well, you've been invaluable for 20 years. There's just no one who can really replace you, David. But I'm glad we'll probably have you. Hopefully, we'll have you at the next commission meeting in March then. Okay, great. Thank you. We move now to the budget and finance report. I turn to Ulysses to handle that.
Okay. And I will ask Victoria Carpenter, our new airport administration manager, to give the presentation.
Thank you, Mr. Aguirre. Good evening, Chairman Jones and members of the commission. I'll be presenting the January 2021 financials for the airport. Please reference item 10, page 11 in the commission packet for review of the revenues by fund. Fund 405 is the airport's fund for customer facility charges. The year-to-date revenues are about 35% of the budget amount of $1.45 million. Fund 410 is the airport's passenger facility charge. The current revenue is roughly 26% of the budget of $2.6 million. Fund 415 is the airport's maintenance and operations fund. Revenue is around 37% of the budgeted $25.5 million. 3 of the key revenue generating accounts are the lease terminal airline space at 75% of the $1.5 million budget, land rental at 66% of the $1.2 million budget, and the on-airport rental car at 54% of the $3.2 million budget. In addition, we received $1.6 million from the CARES Act reimbursement in October 2020. Fund 416 is the airport improvement grant revenue. The airport recently budgeted an additional $7.6 million for a federal approved grant to acquire a runway sweeper and rehabilitate and replace 8 passenger boarding bridges. The airport is now at approximately 50% of the budget amount of $15.5 million. Page 2 of the financial summary, page 12 in your packet, is an overview of the expenditure by fund. Fund 405 has approximately $24,000 in CFC planning from the budget at $4.1 million. Fund 410 has approximately $520,000 in interest from the budgeted $2.5 million. Fund 415 is showing the airport is around 43% of the budgeted $25.9 million. And lastly, Fund 416 shows the expenditures are about 14% of the budgeted $60 million. Page 13 in your package, the final page of the financial summary report, illustrates the surplus and deficit of the funds. For the period ending January 31st, 2021, Funds 405 and 410 had a surplus as revenues exceeded expenditures. Currently, Fund 415 has a deficit of approximately $1.7 million. However, staff anticipates receipt of CARES grant funds to aid in the deficit. Fund 416 has a deficit of approximately $605,000 where expenditures exceeded revenues. The last portion is the airport cash summary showing the restricted funds for your review. That concludes my presentation. I'm available for questions.
Questions for Victoria? Thank you, Victoria.
You're welcome.
Any questions on the budget finance?
Yeah, I have a question. I mean, just
Yeah.
for my, just to understand, at the last month, I believe the unrestricted cash was over 5 million. I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So how do we arrive now at 4.3 million? Where's the decline come from?
And what page are you looking on?
The very last page of the report.
Page 3, the cash summary.
So you're asking how we came to the 4.3 million?
Right, from the over 5 million from the last report.
Let me take a look at the last report.
If I'm not mistaken, I may be mistaken. I don't have it in front of me.
Yeah, let me look at the last one. Give me 1 second. I don't have it right in front of me, but do you mind if I get back to you?
Sure. Yeah, no problem.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Other questions for Victoria? All right, then Victoria, thank you very much. Then we will move the discussion and action items. We do not have any for tonight's agenda, so we'll move right into the executive director and staff reports. Ulysses? Ulysses, you're on mute. There you go.
Just wanted to let you know that tomorrow we should be able to distribute a flight activity report for the month of January. We had 1 or 2 airlines who submitted their activity for January just this morning. And so we're putting those together, so those should be distributed tomorrow. So sorry for that delay in getting those out. The demonstration garden did have a conversation with the sustainability manager, Patrick Tellerico, and he informed me that the final design should be ready to be presented to the Airport Commission in March. There are some minor design changes to be expected, and that was following the sustainability committee meeting, as well as the smaller breakout work group that occurred in late December, early January. So expect Patrick to come back in March. And then the other part of it is that the project start date has been moved to the fall. Part of it has to do with the fact that in order for them to kill off the grass, they need it to be growing, which has to happen during the summer months. So wanted to share those with you. The other thing that I wanted to share has to do with the customer facility charge, CFC. This is the daily rate that is charged to car rental customers here at the airport. It's a $10 per transaction fee right now. Some of you who were here last year, Director Nolan identified the fact that as we looked to program the new car rental facility, that there would be a need for us to potentially change the CFC rate. So we are looking at that. And so I just want to give you a heads up that there's likely to be some conversations in the upcoming commission meetings regarding the CFC. Just wanted to give you a heads up. No action right now is required, and we don't have anything definitive regarding those particular issues. Allow me to start the presentation here for the PowerPoint. Hold on. Sorry, hold on real quick.
There you go.
But I'm on the wrong, hold on real quick. I'm sorry. There we go. You should be seeing the cover page for the Airport Commission meeting.
Yes, we see it.
Okay, perfect, thank you. So just wanted to give you an update. Last time we identified the fact that the USO wanted to do some accent painting on the exterior of the building. As you can see up in the left-hand corner, that's what it looked like before. And they ended up doing some accent painting with that blue right there in the front to kind of give it a nice spruce up. So that was completed. The other part that I just want to share with you is the fact that I wanted to remind the individuals who have been around for a while, who may not have come to the terminal for a while, and also those new commissioners, that this is what the old ticket lobby looked like a year ago in February of 2020. You see the old ticket counters, the back wall, the ceiling, the kiosk. I share this with you is because we now have a full lobby available to us with new ticket counters. This picture was taken this morning, and this is at the far end over here is the north toward the center. And so down here you have Alaska, you have American, United, and then what's going to fill in here is Air Canada, Delta, and if you see the gentleman in the vest right there with the orange, he's putting in the IT, the equipment for Delta to move in. You're going to have Frontier in this area and WestJet over in this area to the far right. This is a picture looking south. And so as you can see, Alaska is over here, and then down at the very end is where WestJet's going to be. So this is our ticket lobby moving forward. It's a nice modern design incorporating the individual ticket kiosks, service bag tags, and also the new ticket counters with the back wall monitors, a very modern design and look. Down at the very end is still our south lobby. I wanted to share with you that this is the only area remaining to be renovated here as we move forward. So this is down at the south end. We don't have a start date for that, but that's the next phase in our construction. In the back, this is a panoramic view of the baggage screening room. So down here to the right, you'll see that that's the south end of the screen room. And this is the conveyor that's going to take the clean bags after they've been screened outside. And I'll share that with you in a moment. In this area over here is where some of the explosive detection system, the EDS that the TSA utilizes to screen bags, will be set up. And down at the very end will be the conveyor system, which will merge with a new system that's going to be added right here that will merge from that. This here is the south tunnel. Some of you may have heard that I discussed that before about some of the challenges of what we discovered as we were going through this particular project. This picture here shows that south tunnel. And if you, to the left over here is the west side. Behind this drywall that you can barely see through the studs there is the public lobby area. Underneath that, the south tunnel which brings the bags from the curbside drop off. They make a 90-degree turn and they will go and surface here and then marry up or merge with that conveyor system way at the back over there. So this is another picture from the opposite side. Like, this is the south tunnel where the conveyor system will surface here. It'll take other bags coming from the south end, and again, they will ultimately go through a conveyor system and merge with this end over here. Once the bags are screened through one of the EDS machines over here, a new conveyor system will take the bags out and go up through this conveyor and outside of the building. So this is moving forward very quickly. You'll see inside some of the aspects of the bag handling system that's already being built. You get 5 different EDS machines right up here. You can kind of see the diversion here that will direct the bags to the screening equipment, which will be right up in this area over here. To kind of give you a sense, here are some of the motors, which there's going to be well over 100 motors associated with our new system. Obviously, that will require us to continuously do PM and to maintain the equipment. And then over here in this area, you'll see some of the control panels that will assist in ensuring that the bag handling system operates properly to give the right control. As the bags move through, they get screened, they get scanned and directed to the right location, ultimately outside of the baggage carousel. Inside here, you'll see the framing. These are the walls going in for the final phase of the airline ticket offices up on the north side. Underneath here on this concrete slab is the south tunnel. So the bags come out from the curbside, they travel toward these wooden stairs, and then they make a 90-degree turn and goes back to the screening area. And this is a shot of the inside of the airline ticket offices. This is now, I'm standing back over here by where this ladder is to take this picture in this direction. So a lot of progress has been made recently once we were able to get past the high voltage lines and the Frontier Communications line with that south tunnel. Outside, this picture was taken this morning. You can see scaffolding here on the outside that's doing the exterior plaster. You see some dirt back over here. Last time I think I showed you some excavation where there was conduit and wiring being put in place for the baggage handling system that has now been backfilled and compacted. You'll see the 3 bag carousels, 1, 2, 3, which I've shown before, but here's the final conveyor system that connects the inside a baggage handling system to the outside. So this is the route that the bags are going to take as they make their progression through the 3 bag carousels. And then the final pictures here that I have is these are some concrete pads for future transformer and generator for the baggage handling system. And then this is the final carousel that's been finally completed. Obviously just waited for it to be energized and for the final completion of the bag handling system inside. So that is the construction project. Any questions regarding anything?
I have a comment.
Yes.
All that construction project is very, very interesting. And I want to thank Ulysses for taking me on a personal tour of all the projects a week or so ago, especially the baggage screening project. I was amazed how sophisticated and high-tech that system is compared to what he showed me what the old system was. So I was very impressed seeing behind the scenes and also the ticketing along. So thank you, Ulysses, for giving me that tour.
You're welcome, Commissioner. And again, I made this offer and extended it before. If anybody wants to come, I'll be more than happy to escort them through the construction in that area.
And let me urge, I've taken it too some time ago, and I'm glad, Bill, that you had a chance to do it. But I hope more of the commissioners will take Executive Director Aguirre's opportunity to join him for a tour. It is really quite amazing. I had a chance last week to fly to Fort Lauderdale from here, and I have to tell you, the new ticket lobby area is amazing, as is the TSA area, by the way, that's been expanded and redesigned too. I happened to fly back Monday, which was not the day to fly, by the way, with all of the snow and storms and cancellations. I barely made it back at 9 o'clock that night. But do take advantage, if you would. I think as a commissioner, you owe it to yourself to see what these improvements mean for the flying public. The enhancements are quite sophisticated, as Bill has mentioned. And I really do urge all of you to take time to take a look at that. Are there other questions for the Executive Director, Aguirre? None. All right. We move then on to the commissioner requests and reports. I don't know of any commissioner reports, but are there any commissioner requests or commissioners who have comments to make?
I have a comment.
Yes, Bill.
I've been, well, my city council requests that I answer noise complaints from Rancho Mirage residents, which I do. And I noticed on the airport website, there's no mention of the noise complaint hotline number. I looked all through the website, didn't see anything. I had to go on Google to find out what the phone number was. So that's something that maybe someone will look into.
Anybody, can you respond? Jeffrey, I know you're involved in that, or Executive Director.
It used to be. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
I'll check it out, but it certainly used to be on there.
I am pretty sure that it's on there. Give me a moment to confirm that it's there.
Okay. Yeah, and I asked Jeff Clarkson because he's chair of the noise committee. So yeah, I know it was there too. So let's see what Ulysses.
Yes, I just looked it up right now. Allow me to see if I can just
share it.
Share my screen here. And so here is our web page right here.
Give it just a sec. There you go. Now it's there.
Okay. So up on the top, we got a couple of drop down menus here under business information. If you click on aircraft and operations, there is a frequently asked questions regarding aircraft activity and noise at Palm Springs. If you drop it down, there's information on how do I file a complaint about the specific airport noise. And right here in the middle is the airport's number, as well as being able to contact the FAA and a link for the FAA as well. And then there's quite a bit of information regarding air noise here at the airport. And this is information that's been put together, started with Director Nolan, has been looked at least once or twice by Commissioner Clarkson and myself, and updated frequently as we get new information.
Bill, is that helpful?
Well, I'm sorry. When I looked through everything, I could not find what Ed just showed. But it's under aircraft and airport operations.
Yeah.
Okay.
What you might be suggesting
I'm
is
sorry,
that
but I missed it somehow.
well, Bill, I think what you might be acknowledging or referencing, and I have trouble with on a whole bunch of different websites, not ours. I think we have a very good website, but sometimes it needs a more prominent location, the navigation tool. It's always difficult to know where various websites tuck different information under. Everybody's different. So maybe the thing that Executive Director Aguirre and Jeff Clarkson could look at is whether we should highlight it in some different way, or should it be under some other tab that would be more easily identifiable or easily to navigate. And that might be what you're really experiencing.
Yeah, I think that's a good suggestion. I don't know that I would necessarily look under aircraft operations if I just went to if I was just a consumer,
right,
traveler and went to
Yeah,
the website looking for it. So that's a good point.
Yeah, I agree with you. But if I tell someone when they have a noise complaint, if I tell someone to go to the airport website and you'll find a noise complaint hotline. Well, if they don't know where to, if it's not obvious to them, they don't know where to go to airport operations, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, you might want to look into that and maybe change it a little bit.
Yeah, let's ask Jeff Clarkson as chair of the noise committee to work with staff and see if it makes more sense to track it slightly differently or highlight it differently. So thank you for bringing that to our attention, Bill. Are there any other commissioner requests or reports?
Yes. Yes. I
Yes,
have
Rolf?
information for Victoria. I just looked it up, and last report, unrestricted cash was 5.2 million. So there's a drop of about 900,000. And so I was just curious what accounted for that drop.
Victoria, are you still with us?
Yes, I'm still here.
Okay. Did you hear Rolf's statement?
Yes, I did. I do see that there's the cash that went down by the 927,537 in our 415 fund account. I'd have to get back to you on why it dropped like that.
Okay. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. And if you would share that the review of that, Victoria, with all the commissioners, since they were part of the questions here too, so that would be good. Other commissioner requests or reports?
Just two quick things. I'm now on the budget committee, but I'm a new member. Weren't we supposed to be doing something with the budget starting February, March? Just curious what that schedule is.
Executive Director Gary.
We have started internally to take a look at the budget here. And so we are putting numbers together and so forth in order to start sharing that information both across the street with our finance department, with the city manager, as well as to bring it before the budget committee and the commission. So that should happen probably in March, starting in March.
And one other thing, is there any new information about when those of us whose terms have expired will be interviewing with the city, or is that still up in the air?
Is David ready? Are you still with us?
Yeah, I'm still here, just doing staff reports while I'm listening. Yeah, so council obviously will do the interviews. They're obviously behind on that, but as all of you know, the rule is just the incumbent will continue on until a replacement is made. For those of you who are wanting to be reappointed, again, you would just remain there until you have your interview and city council makes a decision. So I don't know that any of them are actually scheduled yet, but let us check with the clerk to see if he has anything scheduled. But that's what I can tell you as of now. I don't believe that they are.
David, I have a question. Does that apply to other city representatives?
Yes, it does. So for example, the county appointment, Peter sent me an email today and I indicated that until there is a new appointment, the incumbent remains.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff, does that respond to your question?
Yes.
I mean, they've got so much on their plate right now with COVID and business, all sorts of things going on. So David, thank you for that update. I know it was a question.
But you're all doing a great job and we appreciate you hanging in there for us. Thank you, honestly.
That's true, that's true. All right, other questions or requests or reports from commissioners? Yo, Jan.
I just have a report. I do take things outside of here, and yesterday I shared with the city council the benches, and I also shared the COVID-19 clinic and where to find it on the website. And I share with the DHS Hoteliers Association information on flights coming in and out.
Great, thank you. And I continue to do updates with Main Street, which is the businesses in Palm Springs. I think it's the first and third Tuesdays or the second and third. I can't recall, but I'm on it anyway. And Jan, thank you. The community center is where I go to get tested at COVID. It's the closest one to Palm Springs right now in Desert Hot Springs. It's really very fast. Any other commissioner requests or reports? We've not had this much time in a commission meeting, so I just want to be sure if you have any questions or comments at this, that you have a chance. If there are no others, what, somebody had a question or comment? Nope. All right. Then we'll move on to the report of city council items that's in your agenda packet. There's no correspondence. And as Executive Director Aguirre has said, we don't have the airline activity reports yet for January. We're waiting for the airlines to file that. So that will be coming out to you. We have no other business before the Airport Commission unless there's, I'll ask one more time if any commissioner has any requests or reports. Going once, going twice. Then is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved to adjourn.
Jan Schmitz, second. Anyone?
Second.
Todd, did you second? Todd Berg, seconded. All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Thank you all. As David said, everybody's doing an incredible job at a difficult time. And do take advantage of the opportunity to tour the airport with our executive director to see all of the improvements. All right. You all have a good time, but until we see each other in March. All right. Take care.
Bye. Bye.